There are some beautiful hiking and mountain biking trails south and southeast of Liberty Lake, Washington, and I like to spend as much time up there as I can. About 3 years ago, I noticed what I knew to be cougar tracks on the trail, and I thought to myself it'd be kind of fun to try to get a game camera photo of a mountain lion in its real habitat. So anyway, I bought a cheap $35 game camera and stuck it on a tree. And within the first week, I had captured dozens of various animals, including a bear family. At any rate, that was 3 years ago, and it started an incredible adventure that's been very rich for me in terms of seeing all the action that occurs in the woods when we're not up there. If you're like me, yeah, you try to see as much wildlife as you can as you're hiking and biking, but the chances of seeing that are fairly small, and when you do, you're pretty happy about it. The game camera has allowed me to see virtually thousands of clips of animals in their native habitat in the last 3 years. And this video is a short sample of some of the video captures that I've gotten. I initially started doing still captures, but I found that the video was much more interesting. And about 3 months ago, I upgraded to an HD camera that also has sound, and that has also been pretty neat to listen to the bird noises and the other things that are going on in the woods. All of the videos that you see here were captured within 200 feet of each other, and I moved the camera from one location to another in that general vicinity. And this area is located only about 200 feet off one of the main trails. Many times when I'm up there replacing the memory card, I'll hear hikers or bikers going by down below me as I'm doing my memory card exchange. This has been a really healthy activity for me. When I'm at home, I keep thinking what might be on that memory card, so I hop on the mountain bike and cruise on up there to do a memory card swap. That has resulted in about 80,000 feet of vertical climbed every year, so it's a pretty healthy pursuit. I did finally capture quite a few videos of mountain lion. And if you'd like to skip ahead to the best one, that's just past the 10-minute mark of this video. I have had numerous videos of mountain lion at night. They're a very elusive creature, and I've seen them slink by in the deep brush or in the late at night, just out of camera range. And very few of the clips that I've gotten are usable on a YouTube video, but they definitely are out there. Anytime you see turkey or deer, you can be fairly confident that a mountain lion is staking that out for a good dinner later on. One of the surprises was the bobcat family that moved in. 3 years ago, I did capture a video of a lone bobcat. And in the past year, I noticed that there was a large one and a smaller one, likely a male and a female. And then I finally captured one of the kittens as it comes up the trail and meows just outside of camera range. And that was a really neat surprise. I'm glad that they were able to start a family up there. And I don't know how many kittens that they had, but seeing that there's one cruising around, there must be more as well. One of my favorite captures in the last 3 years is of a Cooper's hawk. And the Cooper's hawk is quite common in the neighborhoods of Liberty Lake. You'll see them swooping through your backyard as they look for songbirds to feed on. And if you have a bird feeder in Liberty Lake, chances are that there's a Cooper's hawk that's watching it to try to get a meal. We've had them in the backyard several times and have gotten some beautiful photographs of that raptor. But to see one up in the woods on the ground, I was quite surprised by that. But it only makes sense that they would be hunting anywhere where there's small game. And up in the hills around Liberty Lake, there are just tons of small mice and voles and chipmunks and small game that raptors can feed upon. Still, it was cool to see that Cooper's hawk when I did one of the memory card unloads. Another surprise I had in the past summer was the presence of a cinnamon bear. I first got a couple of very poor images of a cinnamon bear cub, and at first I thought there was something wrong with the camera because the color of the bear cub didn't look right. I thought it should look black, but instead it was kind of a reddish brown. And then finally I was able to image the mother and the cub walking up the hill, and that's when I realized that we have a cinnamon bear family living up in the park. The cinnamon coloration is a common variant of the black bear, and they're quite common in the West. But this is the first time I've ever seen one, and up in the area south of Liberty Lake right now, there are black bear and cinnamon colored bears in existence up there, and they have been quite common. I get a kick out of the posts I see on some of the Facebook pages of people seeing a bear and getting all concerned about it, but they are always up there. I don't think during the summer and I go more than 3 weeks without imaging a bear, so they're quite common up there, and I think they are quite very wary of people. I've had them run away from me quite a few times up there. The camera is located 1¼ mile south of the shore of Liberty Lake at an elevation of around 800 feet above the lake level. And like I said earlier, it's about 200 feet off a main trail. You can be sure that all of the animals that you see in this video make it all the way down to the lake to either get a drink or to look for food. Friends have a game camera very close to the shore of Liberty Lake, and they've imaged the bobcats, so we know that the bobcats are getting right down to the water. And of course, a lot of hikers notice the moose occasionally down by the lake. I've really enjoyed this experience of maintaining a game camera up in the mountains, and many times I'll run up there and after changing the memory card I'll just sit there for a while and listen to the sounds of the woods, and it's a very peaceful and gratifying thing to be doing. We're so lucky to live in a town where we've got so many natural areas and so much wildlife at close proximity. Porcupine have also been very common in this area, and it's kind of fun to listen to them crunching their way through the forest. As you can see, there are a lot of small animals and birds available for the predators to eat. Here is the cinnamon bear with its cub going up the hill, and you can easily see the reddish cinnamon coloring of the hair. Many of the animals that are imaged at night seem to notice the infrared LEDs on the camera. and they look right at the camera occasionally and try to figure out what that thing is on the tree. There was also a fawn that was walking by and in the broad daylight, and it was obvious that it noticed something that wasn't quite right. It saw something square on a tree, and you see the fawn look at it for a while and then suddenly run down the hill to be with Mom. We're so fortunate to have moose in our area, and it's always fun to see them on the memory card when I do the unloads at home. And that brings us up to this small cougar dragging a deer up to the camera. I was very surprised to find this, and it was quite interesting in that after this video, there's quite a few coyote and also a bear that were attracted by the scent trail that the cougar left by dragging that deer through the woods. Now this cougar more than likely cached this deer behind the camera somewhere after having its fill. Cougar routinely will bury their kill and then come back to it for up to a week until they've had their fill. But by that time, other animals like the coyote and the bear have found it and had their fill. So it's quite interesting to see how a group of animals can benefit from a mountain lion's kill. So that brings us to the end of the video here, and it has been an incredibly fulfilling project, if you want to call it that. I'll be leaving the cameras up there for the winter. I do get up there occasionally in the snow, but for this season we're gonna call it a wrap. Thanks for watching.